Good morning, everybody. I am here from Zone 7B in North Carolina, and spring fever has hit. Yesterday was bright and sunny, almost 70. The temperatures seem to be stabilizing at night. I have already seeded in the ground my cold season vegetables, celery, spinach, some lettuces, and I will show you, and snap peas, and I will show you what is already growing when we're done with this part. But first, what I wanted to show you is that we are going to try something new, which I'm excited about. It's not actually new, but it's new to us anyway. One of the things that we start to get itchy for in the spring is the summer season vegetables, like our tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that. But it's a little too early because of the temperatures to plant those. So what we can do is go ahead and get them started inside by seed, and then we can transplant them outdoors in a couple weeks when it's warmer and more appropriate for them. This allows us the joy of watching things sprout right inside our homes. Kids get excited every morning to go and look and see if something is different. And potentially we can save money because, just one pack of seeds, for example, let's look at, what do we got here? These cucumbers is $2.29, and compared to, and how many they produce depends on how many you plant, but it's quite a good crop you can get for one package of seeds. So let's go ahead and just do this. And so these cow pots are made from cow manure, and so they will potentially help fertilize our seeds over time, the roots of the plants that we're going to plant in here. And I'm just putting in just some organic seed starting soil first, and I'll show you how far I'm going to put that up there. And these cow pots come in different sizes. And one of our goals here at Healthy Green Thumbs is, as much as possible, and it's not easy these days because plastic is everywhere, but we want to try to avoid plastic as much as possible, because it's better for the environment and it's better for our health not to be absorbing any of the chemicals and toxins that are in some of the materials that we may inadvertently draw up into our plants depending on what we put the seeds and the soil in. So if you see on the top, everything is there. And so what I'm going to do today, we're going to plant some cucumbers and so I've got Marketmore cucumbers, and I have one of my favorite tomatoes, Sun Gold tomatoes, which these tomatoes, I'm telling you, I could have had my own farmer's market last year. I just planted 2 plants, and they were so abundant that I could just sit there with my husband and just pick them off the vine and eat them, and we still had to give some away. Another of my favorite tomatoes is Cherokee Purple, which is here. It's a very non-acidic, deep, dark red, purplish color. It's an heirloom variety. And one of the things that we like to recommend is that if you're going to go and do all the work of planting from seed, then if you can, choose something that's organic and non-GMO, non-genetically modified organic seeds, so that you don't have to worry about the potential issues that seem to be surfacing in science. And excuse me about the plane, but this is a good segue to share that this is a reason why gardening and growing things and getting connected with nature is so important, because these days in our modern society we are bombarded by man-made sounds and technology, whether it be planes. I have it looks lush and foresty in the back, but right behind here is a parkway, so the cars are going by, and just a block down the road we have a train. So we have the planes, trains, and automobiles going on here. And just as you can see, having a lot of lush color and green in my backyard enables me to, in some level, try and cancel some of that out and let my brain relax and not get absorbed into all that other stuff. Our population is at 7.5 billion people, projected to go to 10 billion by 2050. So our planet is getting more crowded, and that ability to find solitude and peace and a place to just connect with yourself is getting harder. So that's one of our initiatives here with the Healthy Green Thumbs, is to allow us some time to just decompress and to calm down and to connect with ourselves and connect with our friends and family better. And that's one of the things that plants allow us to do. So we'll talk more about that as we go along. But the other thing I'll be planting today, because they're fun and beautiful, are some sunflowers. And these come in so many different varieties, whether they're mammoth, huge ones that grow bigger than me with, heads as big as mine, or you can grow just nice, short, stumpy ones like Sunspot, which only gets a couple feet tall. And kids love this because it's at their height and it's right there for them to see. So that's a fun one to grow with kids. So I'll be planting some of those in these cow pots. And I am also going to plant, because it's a little too early for basil, although basil is one of probably the most popular herbs, very sought after because it's nice and delicious in the summer. But I'm going to be planting this purple variety called Purple Petra. So it's a purple basil, something a little different. And we'll talk more about different types of herbs and things as we go along here in our bi-weekly sessions. So let's start with cucumbers. So I'm going to take my cucumbers and I'm just going to tear open the corner. And if you notice, it'll tell you how long it takes for them to grow. So this one says start 2 to 4 weeks before the average last frost date, which was pretty much this weekend. And it'll actually tell you on the back 5 to 10 days just to emerge, so you kind of have an idea, especially if you have kids going, are they there yet, and getting discouraged. It tells you the seed depth, for these are 1/2 inch. Seed spacing, how far to space them apart, and maturity is 60 days. So if I plant these, in theory, 60 days we should be getting some cucumbers starting. And as you can see, all that information, if you get seeds, is on the back there. Okay, so we opened up our little package. Open up a little bit more. And you can wear gloves or not wear gloves, depending on what works for you. We'll be talking about the benefits of engaging with dirt, which there are health benefits to. So there's no reason that you have to wear gloves. Sometimes you just want to because maybe you had your nails done, or you just don't feel like getting dirt in the crevices of your skin. So here we've got individual seeds, and I'm going to take them. And the good the good thing about cucumber seeds is that they're big, so they're easy to handle. And so they said they wanted about 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is just tap a tiny little spot in the center of each of those things and drop a seed in. 2. And I'm going to go ahead and can never have enough cucumbers. Go ahead and plant all 6 of these little pots with a cucumber seed. And it's okay even if you put 2, because you can space them out. You can put 2 seeds per pot if you decide to. A funny story with cucumbers is one of my garden clients, she had moved from New York City and wanted to have her kids exposed to gardening. So they grew cucumbers and gourds and tomatoes, and they planted so many cucumbers that when it came time, they had a huge amount of cucumbers in their garden. And so her daughter, rather than doing a lemonade stand, went out to the street right on the end of their driveway and set up a cucumber stand. And she sold them each for $1, and within an hour it was sold out. So that could be a really fun way to inspire kids and teach them entrepreneurship skills. You know, the other great thing is that many people will grow there's something called grow an extra row. So you grow extra vegetables that you can donate to a local food pantry, or, you know, a neighbor in need, or just fun to share. So you see, everything is nice, covered with the soil. I'm going to just gently water that, and we are good to go. Now, if these seedlings start to get too big, we will show you how to up pot before they're ready to go outside if necessary. But for now, what I found is an old tin tray, and I am just going to put that on there. And I'm going to leave this in a bright sunny window after I just give it a little water. The thing with these biodegradable pots is that you want to make sure that you don't let them get too soggy on the bottom so that they start to decompose early. So I am fortunate to have a very sunny southern exposure window that the seeds seem to like. But if you don't and you need help with lighting, may I suggest Gardening Under Lights? It's a book by Leslie Halleck, who is an expert horticulturist. Okay, healthy green thumbs, let's take a look at how our seedlings have turned out. Here in our cow pots, you can see, I think it's 2 weeks around now, these are our cucumbers. And over here we have our tomatoes. And over here, oh no, sorry, these are the cucumbers, those are the sunflowers, and these here are our tomatoes. I grew them by a sunny window, and as the days got warmer, when the days started being more in the 60s and nice and sunny, I started putting them out on this table. If it got below 40, I'd bring them in at night. And then eventually it got warm enough to leave them out for a couple nights. So they've been in and out, and kind of, I think they're ready to go in the ground. So let's take a look over here. And today I want to go ahead and plant some of these tomatoes into my raised beds over there. So I am going to, the great thing about these cow pots is I'm just going to cut them. And as you can see, they're moist and ready to go. And I'm going to just plant them right into the ground because they will disintegrate and just be compost and fertilize these seedlings. Now we have 3 here, and I know people say to pick the strongest one and leave that and then take the smaller ones away so that that one grows. I'm going to give them a little more time before I do that. But let's go over here to plant these, and let's on the way stop and remember that spinach that I planted from seed right in pots. Look at those, how they're growing. And that's a cooler weather vegetable, so I started those earlier. So over here you can also see that the snap peas, and Bubba's doing his thing, mowing the lawn. Over here, the snap peas are really taking off. We've had a lot of rain the past few days, so they're just shooting up. And you can see I have them trained so they grow up and they are climbing, because you don't want them to just grow straight across on your ground. And the garlic is coming along nicely, and the broccoli greens, I need to cut those back and start eating them. So over here, I'm going to plant the tomatoes. 1 is probably more than enough for this pot, but I'm going to go ahead and plant 2. This one is a variety of cherry tomato. That's our local farmer's market. One of our farmers recommended. So if you just squeeze the bottom and take this out, and I like to tease the bottom of the roots, and just dig your little hole, stick it in, and That is good to go. And I'm going to let this one grow and train it over towards this side. And then with my other one, my Sun Gold seeds that I planted, I'm going to put that on this side of the box. I tend to pack a lot into my planters, and I'm just going to fill that in a little bit. You can still see the seedlings there. I'll just tuck them in a little, just tuck that pot in, and that hopefully is ready to take on the pot out here, and then I'm going to train that to go up this side, and that whole thing hopefully within a month or two will be full of tomatoes, probably more like 2 months. Here is some of our finished crop, and as you can see, it made some of our pollinators very happy.